Wah. All that stuff. Out of the way. These wallet, phone, out of the way. Piri, g'day. Oh, hang on, we've got this, we've got that. That's working, this is working. All right, where are we? Get rid of that. I've come to win the piggy, mate. I don't know when I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll do it at half time. Oh, saintly. Saintly, actually, look at this. You'll like that. Oh. The piggy leaderboard. Saint. Careering away. 706 tickets. Oh. He's a ticket master. Had the weekend treat. It was all right. The weekend was good. The weekend was good. YouTube's alive. So far, so good, Paul. Touch wood, Mondays are normally better than... Yeah, it was nearly the opposite period. It was literally not interesting. But the funny part was the Revelare race before it was nearly run just as slow. But horrible scenes. I haven't got a chance to look at Flemington, so I'll do that live with you guys. Go through it quick. Go through Rosehill. Do the piggy bank at half time, huh? We'll do that. Sounds good. All right, into it. Rosehill, definitely hard to run on. Definitely hard to run on wide. The track was certainly drying out a lot quicker. Definitely, yeah. Would they have it an 8 or a 9 the night before? Don't know how they came up with that. I said, I was told it was sort of a 6 on Friday afternoon, which was closer to what it was. I think they put it up at 6, came into a 5. It was probably somewhere between a 4 and a 5, closer to a 4. But whatever, is what it is. But that certainly made it harder to run on, especially sort of kept drying throughout the day. 6 metre rail. Yeah, traditionally sort of 6 to 8 metres is the on-pace leader. So if once it gets firm and 6 to 8 metres, that's when it's dynamite leader. So it kind of made more sense. It was just unfortunate we didn't get the right information earlier, but here's what it is. And review-wise, that's how you sort of set it up. So it was definitely hard to come from back and wide. Modello's run in the first kind of made it look like maybe it was possible because it was a slow tempo, but it turns out that Modello's run was just one of the best runs of the day in reflection. So, yeah, we've got a few slow tempos as well, which certainly didn't help trying to run on either. So, yeah, it's weird. You back in the day, you used to get these mad leader tracks, you'd get fast tempos or faster tempos the more the day went on, but really only the run to the Rose was run at a fast speed, and I think that was more of a jockey error. The rest of them were all sort of even to slow tempos except for race 2, which is pretty normal for a highway. All right, we're into it. Race 1. African Daisy just got left alone here, so they go sort of 2.5, 3 to 2.7 slow to the 800, slow down to 4.6 to the 600. So that's a recipe for a leader to get home. They only come home 1.5 above quick, so it's a slow time off a slow tempo, but not a lot of merit in the back half. So yeah, literally this was a Christmas present for African Daisy. Modella's definitely the run of the race. This Apache Breeze is a freak. 19 starts, 153 grand. It's still a benchmark 66 horse. Yeah, it's obviously had a long prep, but keeps finding the line. It was a little bit unlucky. Old Will Stanley's a little bit dangerous, but yeah, hit the line great all things considered, this horse just continues to find the line. This Wayne Sealand, I don't know what he does with them between runs, but probably not a lot. He's a freak.
To release the field. Stand by. Blindfolds being removed, the gates are back and they're off and racing. African Daisy was clearly the first into stride, but Zoo Ripper
isn't it what? Which one, Josh? Oh, Apache. Hey, I think the only time we ever backed it was at Wyong that day. It was like $15 or $12 or something. It's good to us, Apache. Oh no, we backed it one day when it was a Moral Beat. Oh, I think we backed it both wins. We backed it in Newcastle one day. I don't think I backed it its first win. Is it the same horse that was a Moral Beat at Port Macquarie one day? Yeah, Van Gestel's another story altogether. It's got to be the run of the race. Daisy, the Daisy train.
Duck Egg Blue's been on a wide par from the outset, and further back midfield on the fence, House of Cards being hard ridden. African Daisy swings. Yeah,
there wasn't a lot to see here. Zoo Ripper pulls up 2 out of 5 lanes, so it's a forgive. Duck Egg Blue sat wide the whole way. It was first up. I think it's a horse that's like, you know, we always bitch and moan that trainers want to look for cover, but there are horses that definitely need it, and I'd say Duck Egg Blue is one of those. It's got a really sharp sprint, but needs to be covered up, suck, and then go bang. So I'd say very important to forgive Duck Egg Blue here. I think if it sort of draws a gate and can take up a spot with cover next time out, it can improve a lot. House of Cards was first up for a new stable. It was okay. Back on the inside here. Patchy Breeze is here. Just sort of checked House of Cards there. Medella's back and comes wide. Huge. I thought the other horse that was worth forgiving was Desert Direct Fire. It's first up. Sort of got squeezed out at the start and then never had a lot of luck in the straight. But Medella's enormous. Nothing really came down the outside here all day and did anything. Patchy Breeze is sort of ducking and weaving back towards the inside. As Canada was all right. The winner, as I said, sort of just got its birthday. And a few roadblocks getting in the way of the only challenges in Patchy Breeze and Medella having to come around them. So, yeah, it was all pretty straightforward. Direct Fire's back here in the red with the white. It was just a forgive run first up. Yeah, poor old Against the Law looks like it needs a break. Probably enough for the midway, I think. No, nothing to add there. Beautiful. Next. Nova Century. Yeah, definitely drew wide last time. This is the old golden switch. Outside to inside draw. Good effort to get the horse out of the gates and land behind the leader. I don't think it's a horse that wants to be ridden this way, but probably just going well enough to get away with it here. Show them how. Certainly a little bit unlucky, as usual. Upwardly Mobile was unlucky. This Rod Northern. Where can I get a thing here? I think this was 6 wins in a row across 3 meetings or something crazy like that. And I saw he had another 10-1 winner today. His name Rodney. He's probably not a horse. That's probably what's causing me problems here. Trainer. Yeah, so he went bang, bang, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then he had so he's had 7 in a row. And look at the prices. And Upperly Mobile should have won 20-1. So he's gone 210, 420, 440, 350, 285, 50, $21 was unlucky, and he still won it with a $5.50 chance in a 10-1 shot. 2 winners back here in a second. Saintly Sands probably should have won. Got absolutely destroyed. I don't think I've seen many better efforts than that. That's crazy. Anyway, he's always been a good trainer and that, but that's about as hot a run as I can remember seeing. Get that out of the way. Tea times for the golf. All right, let's have a look. They go quick here, so they go quick. They go quicker. They go quick to the 800, 4.5 above, 5.5 above to the 600. So they've gone way too fast, and they come home slow, slower sections of the day. The time's just below, so I don't think this is a strong race, but it's only sort of highway grade, and I think yeah, it probably measures up, but only just. There's nothing you know, super progressive here, I don't think. So show them how, a little bit slow out. This is the leader, Pony Saprodione. Unreachable, sits wide, no cover the whole way, and drops out after a good win last start. Pretty normal for that stable. This is upwardly mobile, so it's drawn the widest, gets dragged back to the inside and does make ground up the inside and is pace assisted, but geez, should have won. It's definitely flying. So not a lot of happens. They find their spots pretty quick. Old Solitario is just a battler. Show them how, definitely unlucky back here. Upwardly mobile last the inside. The winner's behind the leader. Lead, as you said, it's just gone a little bit too quick. It's that sort of horse. So upwardly mobile just doesn't get a chance to build momentum quite early enough. Runs out of room late. Show them how. I think I just had a stroke. Show them how. Just a little bit of a tricky horse, but nearly every chance. A little bit unlucky, but just a punish of a creature. Upwardly mobile's the one that probably should have won, but did have a bit in its favour as well. What do you do with that race? I think the first 5 or 6 across the line are all going well enough to win a similar race, and it's very much a typical highway, sort of average highway, where they've got to be well placed to do so. There's not much between them. Pony run 1400. Maybe off a cliff. It could run 1400 around Cessnock with a tailwind and, you know, a fast 1. I don't think it runs. I think that's as good a setup as it could have for a highway. If you had ridden it to absolute perfection, maybe, but I think that's as good as it goes anyway. This horse was good to us, Juja Kibo. The old change of tactics was a breath of fresh air when it came through, and it was like 420 to 280, something like that. Controlled speed, ramps it up from the 800 metres mark. This is a nice horse. Whether it's this prep or another prep, this is a nice horse. Whether it can win a Metrop this time in. If it draws a gate, it's going to be very dangerous. It's got such a turn of foot. Handles wet, handles dry. What is it? It's only had half a dozen starts or so, hasn't it? Few starts overseas, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 starts in Australia. 1 start, and then how many runs this prep? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was its 6th run for the prep. Yeah, it's a dangerous horse. I think now, you know, like with that run under the belt, it is probably even better again. So yeah, it's a dangerous horse. It's definitely the only horse in this race that can go on, I would say. Tazima's not a bad horse, but I couldn't see it getting much further than this.
Locked and loaded now, and we're ready to go. Race 3, heavily backed Akibo, and they're off and racing. So from the outside draw,
he could win a qualifier. It could win a qualifier at Tuncurry or somewhere like that. I was a little bit surprised they handed up the lead with Cormac T here. I think that was a mistake on their behalf. I would have been trying to push for the front. Cormac T, very one-paced horse that looked like it was the leader here. The dangers were all sit sprinters, so I thought the best way for Cormac T to be able to win was a little bit like last start where it chased a fast speed. If it set the fast speed, I thought that was a much better tactic for Cormac T to take up. They didn't do that. Old Juja Kibo was probably a little bit lucky because if like the Sketty Spirit, what's it called, the Sketty Dealer or something, a Spirit Dealer, if he'd have ended up sitting outside leader, he probably would have been in a bit of trouble. So yeah, no, he did a good job to get it across outside leader, and then they obviously sat up as soon as they found their positions here. They went sort of probably even time early, and then here they really steady up, which suits the horse outside leader. Be Real took off early and just not going that well. Be Real. Funambulist pulled up. Oh, it's a bled Funambulist, so it's back on the inside here. It'll have to have a break. Zima's here. California Grass is going very well for something a little bit easier. If it could find the right race sort of backing grade a touch, it's definitely ready to win now. California grass. Cormac T was honest again, but this horse, look at the way it travels. It's just, you can see that it's just got, for a 2,500 metre horse to travel like that and then be able to quicken like it does, yeah, he's a very classic sort of middle distance horse for sure, this one. And he definitely could come back to 2,000 metres and be dangerous.
Very strongly from Cormac T and Tazima. They're fighting out minor prize money, but a positive ride early here by Ethan Brown. And
yeah, the first four across the line there, definitely the ones worth keeping your eye on. California Grass couldn't beat the three in front of it without a lot of favours, but could go back to an easier race and win. And the winner definitely can go on, I think. Fraseries. Yeah, lightweight Metro chance, absolutely. And there's no way, like, the market will find it anyway. But, yeah, just a really adaptable sort of horse. I think he definitely needs to draw a gate. I don't think he's the strongest stayer in the world, but he's definitely dynamic if things go his way in the run kind of thing. I think he's a dangerous horse. Midway eligible, I thought so. Don't think they have them over more than 18. See, 1800s, yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? You could go to one of those whackers midweek races and win. That'd be one of them. Now, I had no intention of defending this horse, Strathtay. But then I watched the head-on, and I look at the sectionals, and I go, well, Strathtay was very unlucky again. Absolutely depressing for me. I'd completely gone off Manal by the time the race came around and the dry track and everything. I don't know why. I psyched myself out there. Jedi mind tricked myself, but I had a decent crack at the old Strathtay the place into Manal on the Thursday, so drowning my sorrows here a little bit. I'm not saying I'm going to back this horse again. Don't get me wrong, but it was definitely unlucky. They go slow. They go about 6 lengths below to the 8, slow down even more to the 6. So that's definitely not in Strathtay's favourite, especially the way the track was racing. He then runs home in the second fastest last 800 of the day, even though Nash ran straight up their asses and he never really got clear running. We will be watching the head on just to make it sure that you know, there's excuses for this horse. But yeah, just a bit of a suck race. Completely handed the winner everything on a platter, but yeah, definitely not the same horse we saw last start. I know blinkers went on this horse, but still a huge improver. I would be shocked if there wasn't something that went wrong last start compared to this. It just wasn't the same horse. Very soft in betting, and returned to the horse that we saw first up at Wyong in a much easier race.
racing now, and Nicosia off the...
Yeah, so here's big Strathtay. I was hoping he'd hold out the years. Didn't quite do that. Or, you know, hold inside him and try and hold leaders back. Nash couldn't really do it. He did have a little dig there, but... Sevens pulls up with the thumps. So it's a forgive, but yeah, I don't need to forgive too many horses here. The year's hard fit, going well. What's the other thing? Glad you think so. Hard fit, going well. Sun and Sand was a better run, sitting outside the leader, but as I said, it's a very controlled speed. So horses up on speed with the pattern and everything definitely had a little bit in their favour here. Yeah, I don't know why Nash didn't stay inside here. There's a bit of a head-scratching ride when they all start to go wide. I don't know why Nash didn't toe up behind the leader here. It's a very weird one for mine. And it was, you know, devil's advocate putting your tin hat on. I think it was about $5 to $10 or $11 late, Strathtay. But yeah, I don't know why he decided that he's just going to try and wobble out there when he had the biggest run you've ever seen up the inside. He's still sort of duck and weaving. As I said, he's run home in a very slick last 800. I don't think he got anywhere near his top. Should he have won? Hard to say that. Everything went his way, maybe, but should he have run a place? Yeah, I'm pretty sick that he managed to not run a place. We'll watch the head on just for my psychosis. What have we got here? Is that even going to work? It's not going to work. I'll have to bring that down here. And this won't work either. It's not going to look any good, but whatever. I don't care. I'm going to make you watch it because this is my show. Let's just watch Nash do the The annoying Nash. Where's he actually trying to go? Like, where's he actually trying to go? And then you watch him when he's on the song and he's trying to lift things. Like, he's got the whip in the right. The horse is laying out. He's got the whip in the right for no reason. It's still laying out. Why has he not got the whip in the left? And it's not until 50 yards to go does he even try. Like, he never, ever got out of first gear. So all I've got to say about that is I was right. I unloaded. We should have all collected. And I'm blaming Nash. We move on. The horse might not be tractable. Jay Ford's won 17 races on it. He did want to lay out there, but again, why didn't he have the whip in the left? I don't feel like Nash really... I'm not saying he was a try or anything crazy like that. I'm just saying I don't feel like he was highly motivated. Let's just put it that way. Next, Fire Star. This was a huge prize. Was trialling well. Just I didn't see it getting outside the leader. I thought it'd sort of get stuck wide and was in a bit of trouble and probably underestimated Randy Adkins a bit. But was a silly price. Definitely won by Act of God. But still, just a silly price. Even tempo all the way. Times all right. Kerguelen certainly beat. There's no doubt about that. I don't know whether you attribute this to the horse, who's definitely not the greatest beginner anymore, but geez, this rider seems to have a habit of missing the start on horses or not being able to get them out of the gates as clean as most. So here he is here, just a little like half length away slow, and then he gets the old Chinese finger trap there. He just gets caught in between and spat out the back. They go fast here. How fast do they go, you say? I don't know. Oh, they go even tempo, but fast the whole way. That's right. So Kerguelen sort of shoved back here. Timmy on, what's he called? Catch the Glory. I think it had its chance. Everyone was blowing up. I thought it had its chance. I thought he rode it as well as he could. He was stuck behind a couple of 20-to-1 chances and tried to ease off. You know, I don't think there's any sort of percentage play trying to go in behind Bonita Queen, who, you know, could stop at any time, and then Gerald's horse's 20-to-1 chance that stopped first up. So I think he did the right thing to try and ease off and find clear running when he gets the chance here. He's a little bit lucky, you know. He's lucky that he's had to push 3 horses out of the way to get there. I thought he did a pretty good job. I don't know why. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Chad. He was very, like, there's obviously nowhere for him to go at any stage. And, yeah, quite simply, the horse should have won. This form's okay, but most of these horses are going to stay in this grade. I don't think they're going too far. I'm going to be very forgiving of this horse first up, Flying for Fun. Sort of just backing out there. If Nash goes on this horse next time out and it's good Nash, well, this horse can improve out of sight, I think. Again, if it draws a gate, I don't think it has to be ridden cold. I think they definitely want to try and take a sit with this horse. You know, it used to be pretty hard going early. But if it draws a gate, you know, if it went to sort of Warwick Farm or somewhere, wherever, and Nash is on it and it drew a gate, you could see him sort of standing over this horse and getting it to improve length second up. So I think it's worth keeping an eye on. Flying for Fun. World of Alliance was okay. Kerguelen was unlucky. Catch the Glory was fine, and Firestar was fine. Yeah, I don't think there's any too many horses to follow here. Kerguelen definitely is a good horse, but I don't know if he's going too much further than this, except for if he could win a black type race on a heavy deck for sure. I don't know, Josh. He keeps defending him, doesn't he? I don't know. Catch the Glory is a firmer, yeah. Yeah, Pride just won't put jockeys on. Pride refuses to put on jockeys, except every now and then he uses Nash. As I said the other day, Josh Parr's had one ride on Private Star. He won down the straight, Private Eye. He won down the straight on it in Melbourne. So, the weirdest time to put Josh on in Melbourne, down the straight. He's probably had about not down the straight, about around the 1,400 metres. But, or was it 12? Might have been down the straight. Either way, Josh doesn't ride at Flemington very often, and then he's never sat on the horse again. Good trainer. strange placer and selector of riders. Next. Actually, is that... Let's have a look at that horse, Kerguelen. What is his record? Is that going to pop up? No. Why won't that pop up? How would I make that pop up? Go to Saturday. Go to whatever race that was. $1,178. Here we go. This one. Hello? Why are you changing? Joseph Pride. Here we go. I'll go 3. Oh, that's 365. Why doesn't it have the rider thing there? Must be the riders. Maybe if I click on Chad. Let's go for Chad. Here we go. Chadley with Joe Pride. Oh, he's got a 21% strike rate. No wonder he's been looking after him. But like you say, let's have a look 90 days instead. 13 for 2. $14 for 2. 8.3% last 90 days. Last 30 days he's down to 7.7. He's under the pump, old Chadley. Anyway, whatever. Next. Geez, Terra Vista. World's best sprinter. World's best sprinter. All right, 60s. Well ridden. Schumacher. Well ridden. Second horse. Was it badly ridden? I don't think so. Unless you were on it. I think the winner was a better ride, but, you know, I don't know whether he thought it was going to stop or not. Pretty even tempo here, just slightly above average. They do slow down a little bit late, but a strong, even tempo right throughout. And the time overall is pretty good. But, yeah, nice positive ride out of the gates. You would have liked to see that from a few more jockeys on Saturday. We're coming up to those races.
Moving up on the outside of the favourite Autumn Boy, so the favourite not too far from them in the early stages. Then we've got a line of 4 without
Autumn Boy definitely landed in an awesome spot. You think the race was just about over here. I don't know what you do with the back markers here. You probably choose to forgive a lot of them. There's horses way back here that Grand Prairie just got sort of checked out of the start. But these horses back here, Flying Orchid, San Giovanni in the... always forget what stud that is. Very famous. All the horses with Roble and then Toby Edmonds and Segenho, isn't it? Segenho. And even Federalist just looked like it was getting warmed up. Just looked like it had a barrier trial.
Rocking and rolling at the 800 from Crown. 2 into the run by Pierre. Being ridden up Flying Orchid.
But I think at this point, like, Collett's probably thinking he's got him covered. You know, he couldn't have really gone a lot earlier. You know, I can't really knock the ride too bad. I like this horse. I think there's a big race in him in the future, especially sort of a middle distance horse, San Giovanni.
60s going great guns inside the 200 metres. 60s is roaring along. The favourite Autumn Boy is trying to knuckle down.
I think he definitely thought he had the leader covered at the top of the straight, Collett, and, you know, there's not much you can do. I think the horse has gone very well. I don't, you know, which one do you want to take home? You're taking home Autumn Boy every day of the week, but, yeah, the winner's definitely improved a lot there and gone well. He's Federalist back here sort of running on okay. San Giovanni running into a few dead ends and Flying Orchid never really got warm either. But I think San Giovanni's the one I'd like to follow the most. Without P, I think it's an ex-prep horse. I think it's going quite well. Grand Prairie was definitely forgive, but, you know, I don't think there's much more in it. This prep, I couldn't see him doing much more with it. I think it's nearly probably due for a break as well. The winner's, yeah, much improved horse this time in. Okay, Moscow, 5 lengths behind leader. Agree with all that. I'd say that's about as good as much as we'll see from 60s as well. I don't foresee it sort of being super competitive in a race like the Caulfield Guineas or anything like that, whereas Autumn Boy's probably favourite for that sort of race now. And is that justified? You know, probably. But these 3-year-olds are not strong. All right, here we go. So I just want to play something first. And then you be the judge of whether you concur with this statement. Not this one.
I like Gangster Granny.
Yeah, I thought she was gallant. She's had to do it the tough way. Didn't have enough pace from a bad draw and just got stuck 3 deep outside of them. But I thought at the top of the straight...
All right, hang on. Let's just listen to this one more time.
Didn't have enough pace from a bad draw and...
Didn't have enough pace from a bad draw. Let's just... I wish I could zoom in. So this is Gangster Granny here. After he rode it along and it didn't show speed. So this is the horse that didn't show speed. This one. And show me where he rides it along.
And the favourite Gangster Granny jumped really well. Spicy Martini, Lilac are right there. Together with Manal, they all want to go forward and try and...
Anyway. You be the judge. They go out slow here, 2.4 below to the 800, slow down even more to the 600 metre mark. So even though this horse gets caught 3 wide, I don't think the effort's, super strong anyway. Probably should have won. Probably should have gone straight to the front and won. But that's neither here nor there. What do you do with this form? Dark Glitter's run second. This is a horse, Dark Glitter, that I think I got beat with a Wombat jockey on a couple of times in maidens or class 1s at Hawkesbury. So now it's running second in this sort of race. So it's running second in a Scirocco. You try and work that one out. But it's back here last off a slow tempo with Steffi Magnetic, a group horse, Amina, these sorts of horses. Yeah, I don't know what this means. I don't understand. I just don't understand. So. Here's the Granny, Manal, the winner. Amina's a little bit unlucky. Leaders had every chance. Couldn't really understand where the money came from for Lilac, but a rocket scientist like myself put it in the quaddie instead of Manal. So just for positioning run.
Further back to Samana Rover Racing on the outside of Dark Glitter, a length and a half to Steffi Magnetica. So narrow leader, Gangster Granny has to cover the ground, and then came Manal as they straighten up.
So Manal's definitely had every possible. Amina's back in here a little bit held up, but again, Dark Glitter goes past him. I just can't work it out. Samana was plain. Steffi was all right with the weight from the wide draw against the slow tempo, had everything against it. But again, look, there's Dark Glitter. Like, it's the run of the race, isn't it? I know this horse sat wide, but they didn't go quick. This horse is the run of the race in a Scirocco. I can't work it out. So what is it, a Doncaster chance now? I don't know. Like, what are we talking about here? So I think the jury's out for me on these 3-year-olds completely. But yeah, Manal, solid horse. I wish I'd have stuck to my first opinion on the race. Mate, you'd have to narrow it down, Paul. There's so many of them. Yeah, gangster. Yeah, I think that's that was. I would say from a neutral position, it's a missed opportunity for Gangsters owners, I'd say, because they'll struggle to find a better Group 2 for it to win than that race. Anyway, good luck to them. Hope they prove me wrong. Won't be the first, won't be the last. They go too quick here. This is the Run to the Rose. They go about 4 lengths above, increase that tempo to 6 lengths above by the 600 metre mark. The time's good. The winner's gone like a little jet. There's no doubt about that, off the back of a fast speed, but the time overall's fast. So, you know, this is okay. This is definitely the right form heading into a Golden Rose. I just don't think there's a lot of depth there. Baywhack was all right. Skyhook probably should have won the race. Won't get the rider change that horse needs. Skyhook won't get the change that it needs. I'll have a look at Woderson. Haven't had a good look at these races. Raging Force went too fast. Nepotism was disappointing. I don't think there's any post-race issue that I saw. And poor old Hidden Achievement. I don't know what's happened to him, but he looked like a hurdler here. Tempted a freak. It hasn't grown. It does have decent form, Mac. I'm being nasty, but it's one of my favourite horses, to be honest. I think they all are, Laney. That's the thing. All these 3-year-olds are gunner horses. You know, this horse was pretty much handed the win last start, and as soon as it's been given an ordinary ride here, it just popped. I don't know why Skyhook didn't hold his spot. I don't know why he didn't. I don't know why he goes back to the fence here. I think it's one of the worst rides of the day on Skyhook. Why you would choose to go in behind Pre-Star and ends up with who outside him? North England, I think. He ends up with North England who's first up and Pre-Star in front of him instead of holding the back of Baywhack. One of the worst rides of the day, clearly, I thought. Tempted landing a perfect spot. So they've worked really hard here, and most of these up front horses have been part of that speed at some point, whereas Tempted's the first horse that was just allowed to relax. So she doesn't look that small there. I thought she looked really small parading, and she's definitely not a big type who's, you know, grown a lot since the 2-year-old campaign, but she's got a good little engine, hasn't she? Especially when she can relax and flow into the race. This Ethan Brown did a great job on the day, whereas anyone who backs Skyhook, stay away from the sharp objects.
And Bivak put the head in front from Raging Force, is fighting on Dowley. 2 lengths away to Tempted. Here comes the filly. She's starting to knuckle down, and Tempted went straight on by. And Tempted roars away. It's another Godolphin success.
Woden was pretty good. As you said, there's not too many horses that come down the middle of the track, and Nepotism was fine, I thought. It just looked like it had a complete barrier trial. State whatever it's called, State Visit wasn't bad either first up. I think all these horses out wide, they can improve. I'd be very, very, very happy if this horse got a rider change, which it won't, to back this horse to beat this horse in the Golden Rose. I think Skyhook's the horse to beat in the Golden Rose, personally. She was really good, but that was just absolutely nothing could go better for her than what happened there. Whereas this horse, nothing really could have gone worse. He jammed it out the gates a little bit, then had to go back. Then he goes to the fence, he gets held up, and then he's still got the balls to sort of surge at the end. Yeah, I think he's the horse to beat in the Golden Rose, and clearly. What does the betting say? What does the betting say? Golden Rose, 1,400 metres on the 27th of September. Skyhook, $8. Tempted, $3.60. Yeah, I think that's a big price. $8, $9, $10. I doubt that Autumn Boy will be there, will he? I don't know. But I'd be happy to back Skyhook. He's definitely much more adaptable than most of these horses. I don't think they'll go to a Coolmore with Skyhook, will they? Will they? I don't know. I'll find out. But he looks like he wants 1,400 desperately to me. He looks like a absolute perfect 1,400 metre horse. Just get on speed, quicken a little bit, keep coming. You would think so, I think. I don't know. Maybe they go there. I don't know. I don't know. But Tempted will go. Oh, you're talking about the Coolmore for Tempted. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Coolmore for Baywhack makes sense, and Coolmore for Tempted makes sense to me too. But they probably... Yeah. Interesting. Baywhack wasn't bad, but yeah, 1,400 metres looks a bridge too far. Whereas I think Skyhawk will go very close. All right, Autumn Glow. Oh, forgive for those things out the back. What were they? No, not really. We'll worry about them later. All right, some good rides here. They control the speed. Karen has a heart attack 37 times. You could see that he still had Skyhawk on his mind here and was having a mental breakdown in the run, but the horse is just way too good. Very, very, very good horse. Parades like a champion. Looks like one, travels like one, lets down like one, whatever you want to say. So you can see Karen was right on the ball here. He didn't want to be pocketed. He's obviously expecting Rachel to come across, but when Tim comes across and wants to sit outside him again like he did on North England, I think the hive started to form on McAvoy's neck about here. And then when Tim forces him to the fence again, I think he had a complete and utter mental breakdown. And at least he had the foresight to sort of duck back then and try to get off his heels. But the horse is just so good that you can see, look, she's travelling half speed. They're not going quick, but he wasn't going to let any interference trouble him here, and he pulls out wide early, and the horse is just way too good. I thought El Costello was very, very good. I thought Pier was very, very good. And NCAP wasn't bad late either. Straight aces. It's interesting the gaps that just open up here late. And yeah, I think he was really good first up, El Costello. But every chance, the first two in the run. He could be dangerous in a Epsom potentially, I guess, if that's the way it's going. I think El Costello could be dangerous in an Epsom. Probably love to see him in that 1,800 metre, 2,000 metre range maybe, but he could be dangerous lightweight horse in an Epsom. I assume you'd get a lightweight. That was probably as good as the general goes. These horses have definitely got more upside going into their prep, but he's got a race in him if he finds it. You know, like there's not much better form around than running second to Autumn Glow. Well, I don't know why Zach Lloyd's not riding at the Provincials, to be honest. I would be in shock if Tempted ran in the Everest. They would destroy her life. I would be shocked if they ran in the Everest. Shocked. Yeah, it's just she's just a freak. Like everything about her action, the way she quickens, the way she just continues to build through the line nearly every start. Like, look, this horse has got a very good sprint on it. General salute. And she just winds up and she's got 3 more gears than him, and through the line, look at her, he's trying to pull her up, but yeah, she's a weapon. Look at the arse on her compared. Like, she's just a beautiful animal. You know, you'd love to see her set for an Everest, wouldn't you? It's a shame that he's just got too many of them, Waller. It's crazy, but what a position to be in. I think the Epsom's probably the one race I'd be most scared to back her in, but you know, nothing says she won't run a mile, and she's so adaptable. And you know, what did she get allotted? 54 kilos or something today? I think I read somewhere. I'm not sure, something like that, which is perfect for a horse like her. She'll probably be hard to beat in just about anything. But if Tempted wins the Everest, I'll run nude to friggin' Southeast Asia. It's a 5 bazillion to 1 chance. The last, Crystal Clear. This Everest is going to be very good. Private Harry's a very good horse. Carling Rise is obviously very good. They're going to go quick. Lady Shenandoah, Jimmy Star. This is a good Everest. This is one of the worst races you'll ever witness. It makes me sick to even watch the replay. Narbol couldn't go. It looked like the horse had sit third the fence. Crystal Clear. I I don't know why he didn't want to give this horse a dig in the ribs and hold the front, but for whatever reason, he tries to reverse park it and hands up the lead to an absolute camel, and then nearly stuffs it up. So he got away with it here. Crystal Clear should have definitely asserted a bit of authority and held the front. I think they go like 7 or 8 lengths below to the 800. They go 6 lengths below to the 800, slow down to 9 below to the 600, only come home 2 above. So this is a putrid race, but definitely got away with a very average tactics again here.
Leads out by a length and a half. Crystal Clear with anything goes improving.
Captain Furi's just rubber stamped himself as a dead set heavy tracker. We're only going to have one look at this. Yeah, he was just very, very lucky to get away with this on Crystal Clear. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe this horse back here, Harlow Mist, that runs second last. Maybe there's a race in it this prep. I don't know where. Brosnan definitely a bit of signs of life. That's good to see. He's probably just needed a lot of runs to get fit. But man, trying to find a horse out of that race to go to another race and win, unless it's the same sort of race, it will be very difficult. Well, yeah, that's exactly what Paul said. $300 fine for National, and Paul's the one to ask what the difference was. I don't think there was much difference. Like it was, whereas Nash was, they say it down here. 10 occasions, 2 consecutives prior to the 100, and he gets a $300 fine in, and old mate gets 2 weeks. It's very strange. Headwell probably out of the Everest. Yeah, like that's Headwell definitely out of the Everest. It should never have been going there anyway, but why not PC? I just think I think the 3-year-old are nowhere near the class of the older horses at the moment. I think it takes a very, very good 3-year-old to win the race, and that's if it's a weak race. And this year, I think the 3-year-olds are very weak. I think she's very small. I think she'd get in amongst a high-class field there, and they'd just bash her around, and it'd be to her detriment to running the race. All right, let's look at. I haven't looked at Melbourne at all, so I'll go through it quickly. I'll do this draw now. Let's do this draw. So the idea of this piggy bank, if I can get it to work, is that so it's $824. So it's just I just put these community bets on, and then whoever gets drawn, and I've got to make sure that displays, because I don't know how to do that at this stage, but we'll see how it goes. Whoever gets drawn gets a chance at the wheel. Is the wheel working? We better get the wheel working. I'm really well organised here. So I want to do that on... Where are you? Hang on, hold the phone. Here it is. Aha. So there's the wheel. Usually there'll only be one jackpot, right? So the ones where you can see a little bit longer is 100% of the pot. Usually there'll only be one of them, because the idea is for like up to 50% of it to keep jackpotting. We keep trying to win and keep trying to build it up. Because it's taken me a while to back a winner, I thought first week out, there's about 97 million tickets. Whoever gets it will get a chance to win the bigger prize. It was electrifying turn of foot. Yeah, they're all camels, PC. That's the problem. They're all camels. Anyway, so, okay, here we go. We'll go back to where we were and draw the winner. Go away, Piggy. Go away. So if this works, we'll get a winner. Does the winner need to be here? We'll see who it is. Manual draw winner. Here we go. You would not believe it. Callum. Callum the psychopath. Is that the same Callum? That's not Darren Flindell, Callum. $1,500. Darren Flindell, Callum. I think being first time out, you got to be here. Bit harsh, but fair. Because otherwise, yeah, got to be here. Yeah, have to be here. Yeah. Oh, there's Callum. Oh, my God, that'll do me. Callum, I don't want to have to send you money because I know where you're going to spend it. That'll do me. What are the chances? If Callum, if you win all this $824, I'm taxing you the whole lot for having to deal with you all the time. Here we go. Not watching. What'd you get? Now I've got to work that out. How am I going to work that out? How am I going to work out what... Oh, it's jumped to 9,000. I'm only a simple imbecile here. $288.50. You're rich, Callum. And you've destroyed the piggy bank goes back. Callum's reduced the piggy bank 535.80. How many tickets total were there? I'll show you. 8,405 tickets. $8,405 tickets. 11,320. Well, there must be Anyway, there we go. Well done, Callum. Like a well-oiled machine that went. But I'll do that every week now. Message me, would you, Callum, or email me. Tell me where you want me to send your money. What's happened to Callum in the Discord? Breeny, don't bring it up. He's still got his own channel there, Cloud Garbage. We don't need to know what's been going on with Callum. We just need to know he's alive. All right, let's get back to Melbourne. Flemington, Legacy Bound. We'll look at this race quickly. This was a weird one. So they go slow here, but I think they all went too slow. I think they all sort of bluffed each other out.
Second race on the...
I didn't ban him. Mate, no, there's not many people being banned from the Discord. You get them automatically, PC. So you were number 2. You had 464 tickets. You had 464 tickets. I'll show the thing there. Hang on. You were there. 464. Saintly had 720. Callum had bugger all. You got to be in it to win it. I think you're in it twice, PC. I think you're down the bottom there too. So you had more than Saintly. All right, go away now. There we go. All right, yeah, strange tactics here. I thought holding up McGaw was not ideal. There was a few runners that probably could have pushed on and got a bit keen and didn't have anything left. Legacy Bound was really good, I thought. I underestimated this horse. Navy Pilot, very good horse as well. That was a big price here and was nibbled at late. Yeah, I couldn't see the reason for trying to ride these horses cold. especially McGaw. Complete madness, I thought. Tycoon Star kind of got left out here in no man's land. He was good, but you know, had his chance to a certain degree. They, as I said, they don't go quick. They're going a couple of lengths below standard, but yeah, I don't understand this. A fast horse riding it this way, especially second up, makes absolutely no sense to me. Legacy Bound adapted well to the slower tempo. I don't think it's suited by slow speed either. Navy Pilot's definitely got a nice turn of foot and you know, arguably was the horse that was most suited. Even though it comes from the back, it's just had that cold sit and can come out and sprint.
Shown its head on the outside, it's coming on, and then Navy Pilot out past the middle of the course. Shining Smile at the 150, grabbed
little pocket rocket, isn't he, Navy Pilot?
Legacy Bound, and Navy Pilot, Legacy Bound just in front.
I don't know how it won still. This horse definitely won, but it didn't. Solid, as good as it goes. Terrible ride. Wants 1,400 metres in a faster tempo. I wouldn't be sacking it. So I wouldn't be sacking Devil Knight. I'd say this horse, the run was better than what it looked. Little bit disappointing. Complete forgive, but needs to be better ridden. 1,400 metres and, you know, well above the pass mark for Navy Pilot first up. Why did Jock come wide? Where else was he going to go? He drew inside? Yeah, I don't know.
Then came McGaw, Devil Knight, Tycoon Star out wider, and then
don't know. Who wrote it? Jamie Carr. Doing a lot of weird things. Yeah, Shining Smile is just a rock solid horse, just not top class. $42 tickets, Callum, you're a freak. 42 out of 11,000 and you got the lot. Okay, another race where they go slow, 1.5 slow to the 8. They slow down to the 6 and then come home 3.8 above. I think that's absolutely ideal conditions for Vinrock, especially outside the leader when it couldn't dictate. Maybe an inch or two quicker would suit it as well. Yeah, I don't know really what to do. What have we got this horse? What horse is this? Prestige Olay runs the fastest last 200 of the day in this race. Interesting. A little bit out of nowhere. West of Swindon was okay, sat wide. It's there's sort of a controlled tempo, was a little bit unlucky. Crossbow was very average. I don't know if this is Caulfield Guinea's form personally. I don't know what Vinrock is. I think, you know, my gut tells me he's a Group 2 on pace 1,400 metre horse, maybe a miler. This horse back here is the one that runs the fastest last 200 of the day. Number 4. The yellow with the red cap or green or whatever that is, colourblind me. But yeah, I think everything pretty much went as good as it could possibly go for Vinrock here. So this horse back here, the with a little white face, is the one that runs a slick last 200, Matt Laurie horse. Wouldn't say it's actually like travelling here, so it might be an interesting horse to follow going forward. Not that anyone will miss it, but it might be an interesting horse. I'll have a look at its form in a sec. It's fairly hidden considering where it finished, so by the looks of it, it was only just getting warmed up late, so. What's it done? Had a few starts. First up it was. First up 1,400, got to 1,400 last prep, one off. Got some upside anyway. Performance being wide most of the way really punctuates how bad Louise's ride was at Kembla. Exactly. Not sold on that race, though. I'm not sold on Western Swindon. I'm not sold on the race. This is an interesting race. Pen Power ran last. I haven't got to see it again. Haven't seen if there are any excuses for any of these horses either. I thought Incaruna trial great leading into this. I thought the betting was very weird, that it was very, very soft late. Acacia trial well and had good form first prep. I think it beat a good horse at Kembla or something its first start.
Began cleanly. Tisworthy in the middle also broke away pretty well. Cavalry Girl out fast. There's a little division over on the far side.
What do they do here? Sorry.
Also Palm Angel.
Yeah, much stronger tempo here. So a fast tempo and a good overall time.
On the far side, up the middle, Pen Pal, and also Bellazane are also up there with the lead.
Isn't it fun trying to watch these races and trying to work out where horses are? So this is Acacia out here, first time down the straight, first time Melbourne. Incaruna back in here, I'm assuming. This is My Gladiola, the winner.
Blue Hotel back in the field. ETD, My Gladiola is one of the widest. Celibates in the back half, with also Biologics and also.
Geez, Incaruna looks like it might have been a bit unlucky at this stage. I haven't watched this replay at all.
The widest at the moment is Acacia, who's going to try and wind up from there. Cavalry Girl is the leader. 350.
He got the run through.
Cavalry Girl under hands and heels.
Maybe not.
2 lengths in front of Signature Scent chasing, then Blue Hotel.
I've never seen a horse that looked like a moral at the 200-metre mark run 27th like Cavalry Man did.
Gladiola and Acacia out past the middle. Cavalry Girl approaching the 100.
Cavalry Girl.
Gladiola is really lifting. My Gladiola extends. Acacia coming at her, but it's the grey My Gladiola in front and one. My Gladiola from home, 2 lengths in front of Celibates in the back half.
This was definitely a good effort, sort of stuck out here by itself.
Girl under hands and heels. Cavalry's really lifting. My Gladiola extends. Acacia coming at her, but it's the grey My Gladiola in front and one. My Gladiola from
I don't think there's anything too interesting there, is there?
Behind the Mycarian Dream at Amping Lassen next to My Gladiola extends. Acacia coming at.
What's this horse back here?
My Gladiola in front and one. My Gladiola from Acacia.
Is that Biologics or something? Is that Biological back here?
Those Tisworthy and also Amping Lass Blue Hotel back in the field. ETD, My Gladiola is one of the widest. Celibates.
Was that this horse? What's this horse?
Also Biologics and also Incaruna, Petit Artiste and well back a Carian Dream, and the widest at the moment is Acacia, who's going to try and wind up from there. Cavalry Girl is the leader.
Sort of gets chopped out there and loses a lot of ground. He looks like he's not even riding it.
Heels went for home, 2 lengths in front of Signature Scent chasing, then Blue Hotel. My Gladiola and Acacia out past the middle. Cavalry Girl approaching the 100. My Gladiola is really lifting. My Gladiola extends. Acacia coming at her, but it's the grey My Gladiola in front and one. My Gladiola from Acacia.
It was fairly forgivable. What? I don't even know what horse it was. It's got to be Biologics, isn't it? It was, yeah, it's Biologics. Another Jordan Child special. Yeah, that's who it beat Beedman, right? It beat Beedman its first start. Was it? Was it ETD? Well, it looked like looking at the fastest last 200 was Biologics. Anyway, yeah, there's nothing there that you like stands out. I don't think you want to follow, but the winner's going well. Second horse well, third horse went all right. There's a couple of forgives maybe back in the pack. The big horse here, watch this once. They go quick. They slow down a bit between the 8 and the 6, which is absolutely perfect for this horse to come into the race a bit, and then they sprint home. I've gone 5 lengths above. This is a pretty strong race, and the horse is just absolutely flying.
Race number 5. Racing. Pondalawi flopped out. Trail from Riser Dawn on the outside. They won too early.
She does ride this horse extremely well. Just lets him get into a rhythm and pulls him to the outside. Doesn't muck around with inside runs or waiting. Just gives him plenty of clear room to wind up, even if it's at the expense of, not saving half a length here or there. This horse just needs to be ridden this way. She definitely rides him exceptionally well. You can see how he's got this huge stride that he just needs to be allowed to do his thing and go through his gears. This is a good win.
Is Robrick, Warney up on the inside, and further back is Athanatos, and Cafe Millennium is starting to wind up. Gerringong at the clock tower, 250 metres to go from Transatlantic. Cafe Millennium, the
Transatlantic's a pretty good horse.
Transatlantic with Cafe Millennium chasing. Transatlantic at the 50. Cafe Millennium having a dip and got it.
I think there'll be plenty of winners come out of this race.
And Cafe Millennium is starting to wind up. Gerringong at the clock tower, 250 metres to go from Transatlantic. Cafe Millennium the outside. Transatlantic with Cafe Millennium chasing. Transatlantic at the 50. Cafe Millennium having a dip and got it.
Transatlantic's definitely in for a good prep. Who are the other ones down the outside? Pondalawi. Geez, it's an interesting horse, Pondalawi. Hard horse to catch. It was a good effort. 100 to 1 there. Yeah, I think you're sort of changing of the guard there. You pop awards and that'll go back. You long need to bring over pace. You think they've got so many of them? I just thought that in hindsight too. I'm like, why the hell didn't they put something in this race that could break them up? There's one in Sydney, not Moira. There's a horse in Sydney with a weird name that sort of got a bit of speed. You think they would have sent it down? Bobby Lewis, average race this. They just go average or slightly below average the whole way. So even tempo, average speed, kind of what it looked like on paper. I don't think there's much depth to this race. I think most of these horses kind of found their mark. Arkansas Kid, very well set up, going well. This is what he is. You know, a Group 2, Group 3 horse. Maybe a handicap at Group 1 level, but he'd need everything to go his way. A lot of these horses have either peaked or I think Media World's got improvement to come. Royal Signy is not a bad horse, but I don't think it's anything better than this level. Inzudo was pretty good first up, I thought.
Comes up and they're set for the Bobby Lewis. Royal Insignia from barrier number 3 away evenly. Corniche out. Boys Star Patrol isn't too far away. And over on the fast going Lickroll Corn behind those in the white cap. They were followed by Stuff Party and then came Airman wider with Bandy's Shooter. Star Patrol as they reached the 7.
He was arguably not in the right spot. Arkansas Kid, we've seen most of those horses sit wide and come down the middle a little bit wider and do their thing. So, he might have had a little bit against him, but he's been going great. Not a big fan of Airman, not a big fan of Give Me the Beat Boys. I'm not a big fan of most of these horses. Tuvalu struggled. Big Star Power, Patrol, he's probably the horse that could find an easier race next time, Media World, and just wish it had a run 5th or 6th, probably would have got a little bit better price next time. Even Give Me the Beat Boys kind of got half chopped out there. I think that, what you see is what you get there. I don't think there's much more to it. What was wrong with the ride on Airman? People were blowing up about it.
Comes up and they're set for the Bobby Lewis. 3 away evenly. Began fast.
Isn't it weird that the horses, that stable, you just seem to get so many comments about rides on the horses that because they're told to ride them a certain way and it just turns into pear-shaped. I had a trainer ring me the other day about a jockey asking if I'd kind of help him a little bit, and you don't want to give them too much information. The problem is you don't want to muff the head. And he's like, they're talking about speed maps. Well, speed maps are the greatest nightmare in the history of the world. You've got to talk riders through races and keep it as simple as possible. You ask them, what do you think? Hey, how do you think where's the best position for your horse in this race? Okay, no worries. If you don't tell them this is where you're going to be, because then, there's no such thing as certainties in racing. There's just everything's uncertain. The gates open, weird things happen. You can't tell them you can't be there, you can't be here. If the tempo dictates that you should be leading or outside leader, you're there. You don't drag a horse to a negative position just because you were told to do so. I think the more you stick in their heads, the more trouble you cause. As long as they're aware of the strengths and weaknesses of their horse and the horses around them, that's all you can do. No, it was a little bit unlucky, but not much good, Airman. It is what it is. It's not much good. I don't mean, it's not a bad horse. I just don't think it's a progressive Group 1 horse. Revelare, this race they go 26 lengths below standard to the 800 meter mark and maintain that to the 600 meter mark. So they don't really quicken. They quicken up a little bit from the 800, but it is just a dead set sprint home. Did that play into the hands of Revelare? Has he ticked the 2500 meter box? Literally he has. He's won over 2500. But, these slow tempos, are they playing into his hands or not? Only time will tell. He certainly wasn't bursting through the line late. You've got Jenny Vermoose was bursting through the line late. You've got Post Impressionist was stronger than him late. You've got even Euphoric back in the field was stronger than him late. But he does put himself into the race a lot earlier than they do, and he still runs the second fastest last 800 of the day. So, there's a lot to like about this horse. I just, Mormona's probably not so suited by this tempo and ran into a half length. No knock on him, but he's had a lot of favours, and a lot of that comes back to being an adaptable type that can take up a decent position and maintain a sprint. So they're all positive things that this horse can do. It's not as if he sits behind the leader and sprints for 200 metres and wins. He does have to come from midfield. It's just whether he's got a superior sort of sprint to a lot of these middle distance sort of whackers. Once he gets up in grade and into a fair dinkum race, will that find him out, or will he thrive on it? That's the question for me. But he's just so likeable. He's just so, everything about him so likeable. The way he moves, the way he travels into a race, the way he's allowed, in a dogfight, he doesn't turn it up at all. So there's plenty to like about this horse. It's just, when he's blowtorched over this sort of distance or further, are we going to find some chinks in the armour or not? He's not stopping, and I'm not suggesting he is, but there's definitely stronger horses than him late closing, and the tempo I think played in his favour. But remember, Joe, what I said 25 years ago? It is important how far from home a horse has a race won. Jesus Christ, 25 years ago, I was about 9 years old. Oh, I wasn't, 17. That's very true. It's very true that whether you want a horse that's got control of a race at the 400 metre mark, not the 40 metre mark. That is absolutely true. Yeah, and so it's not to say that he won't handle a fast run race over this sort of trip. It's just a question mark. Glenn. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Nearly. 15.
Just about ready. Stand by for a start. They stand racing in the Mackay Diva Stakes, and Mr. Brightside jumped beautifully.
All right, this one run just as slow.
And it's not fast. Via Sistina second, Mark Twain third, the inside early. It's a Dawdle the first 200, and Tino the
just as slow. So yeah, the weirdest part here is that J-Mac definitely looks like he jumps with a bit of authority to hold that spot outside leader, or at least have a look at holding a spot on speed. And then, obviously Mark Twain gets a little bit keen on the inside, but this is a dead set Melbourne Cup stay. So they're going so slow, and to be happy to hand up that spot to any other horse in the race was, maybe arguably okay, but to hand it up to Mark Twain, what the heck? What the heck? And look at Tom Melbourne charging through the bridle. It's a complete embarrassment that something didn't take off here. And I saw that the lass from .com interviewed Shin, and he said, I was on the back of Diastina. What am I going to do? And I don't want to completely destroy the horse going forward into its prep. I get that, but gee, something had to whip around. And the most incredible part is that they slow down from the 800 to the 600. So that shows that they were completely asleep. Everyone, you know, everyone's gone through it. I don't think it's worth even saying, but it was quite embarrassing. Even Tom Kitten to try and charge through the middle, to not come around him was a bit weird. It was just bad rides, bad rides. The only really horse that was not poorly ridden was Damien Lane, and that was because he was boxed up. But, you know, the winner obviously wasn't. It was well ridden, but what he got away with was just a complete embarrassment, really. Glorified barrier trial, what does it mean going forward? Not a lot. I think they all went well. Even Tom Kitten went okay, really. They all went well. Very surprised if the winner holds any of those off at their next start, but doesn't matter now. It was a bit of both, Lammy. Like it's not a straightforward position. Like it's when you're not at a grand final to sort of show your hand and decide to put yourself into a race and apply the blowtorch very early is a big decision to make on these sorts of horses when they've got, you know, big races ahead. But it was still it was just embarrassing that they let Mark Twain sit outside the leader. Like it's dead set. It needs 3 laps. And for it to sit outside and run cover for Mr. Brightside was just embarrassing, really. That's what is embarrassing. Everything else, you know, you can justify it all, but whatever. It was a no race, and, you know, if you back Mr. Brightside, too good. He sprinted up for 400 metres. What did he run home in? 32 and a half or something crazy. He was the get-out horse of the millennium. I think everyone who did their balls for the earlier part of the day was all in on Lazura here. This horse just kept firming. They go slow. They slow down even further. So here's another really slowly run race. Again, the majority of races run at, you know, even to slow tempos here. The last was the big exception. They go very quick in the last, but here they don't. McDonald taking no chances this time. Very similar to K-Mac in Sydney. After he gave Skyhook a sore back, he was very positive on Lazura out of the gates and all but lifted it over the line. On Display was an absolute disaster if you're on it. I think there are a couple other unlucky runners back in the field. Like a Lucy goes like a rocket. Flashback was good from the back, but it's always going to be like that, a bit of a nightmare of a horse. O2 Good being so far back was probably not expected, and it went a lot better than I thought it could do ridden in that sort of situation as well. If he'd had a bounce like usual, actually, I just want to go back and see what happened at the start. So weird, they kind of come out neutral on it, didn't bounce, but definitely looked to take a sit with O2 Good. It looked like the lead was there for O2 Good, so I'm surprised they rode it that way. Pro Tarataki as well is up there and punching, but he's on display behind the leader. A very slow run race, sit sprint, you know, was probably pretty good situation for On Display. So, yeah, I think it would have won, but be careful that it's not heavily overplayed next time out. O2 Good down the outside here, splashback. Like a Lucy down the outside, very, very good first up. On Display getting checked out of the race back here is just a complete forgive. Probably would have won, but we'll never know. And I think it'll be priced next start like it would have won. So I don't think there'll be any upside in really trying to find it. If it finds the right race, it finds the right race, but I think the market will find it. A bounding, that's about as good as a bounding goes. Every chance for mine. Yeah, I don't know whether they'll continue to try and ride O2 Good with a sit or not. But she was very good ridden off speed, and I think she's a much better horse on speed. I think she's a sort of box seedy 1-1 sort of horse that can sort of continue to build into a race from a forward position and win. I don't know what you do with like a Lucy. I hate these Chris Waller horses when they run like that first up, but yeah, she was coming off a second. She ran 4th in the Treasure of the Moment Oaks. So yeah, will she get? I don't know. She's too far behind to get to a Caulfield Cup, you would think. I don't know. Index prize money after the fact, 22 below standard equals 22%. I don't know. Yeah, like it's an interesting one. The one thing they've got to fix is scratching. So, the lucky last, Golden Path, 100 mile an hour. Solid win. I laughed. Old mate comes out, says to be ridden quiet. Shin just jams it straight into a positive spot. Kingswood had its chance, but a fast run race first up. It's done a good job. Young Werther a little bit pace assisted from the back's gone okay. Glebe's gone 100 miles an hour and stuck on well. I heard that they're talking about running in the Underwood, I think. So I'm hoping it doesn't run in the Underwood because I'd rather see Sir Delius up there and controlling that race. Plymouth was okay. Deacon was better. But, yeah, really fast run race here. I think this is a good fitness building run for a few middle distance types. Yeah, so I laughed. They said it to be ridden back and look at Shin. Just bangs it straight out, slots it straight across. Typical B Shin masterclass. When he's very good B Shin, and he lands it in a perfect spot. Just a hard going thing, Glebe. I think, it's unfortunate. It's obviously got bad feet and a few little issues. It's obviously got a big engine, this horse. It's a shame. It's a shame that it just does that 10% issues it has. It probably gets it over racing and doing a few things wrong. Because it's obviously got top line ability, I'd say. Just a couple of little issues holding it back.
200 metres to go. 2 lengths in front. Kingswood Golden Path eating into the margin steadily. Globe at the 100 needs the line. Golden Path wearing it down. Globe grabbed by Golden Path. Who won? Golden Path.
Is Plymouth, I think, sort of second up, hard run race. We'll find out if it's any good next start. I think Plymouth's probably next start should be coming to somewhere near his peak as long as they don't step him up too much further in distance. I think we'll find out if this horse has got anything or not. The first 4 across the line were all pretty solid. Yeah, I hope the Globe doesn't back up this week. I really do. Trainer said Shin overruled the instructions. Yeah, I love stirring about the World Toad. It's not a good initiative for punters, that's for sure, but it is what it is. All right, what races we got coming up? Better put all the old RSG thing there. We've got to put the RSG thing along the bottom. We don't want to get arrested. Futures. Newcastle Gold Cup. Look at this. We've got Newcastle Gold Cup and the Cameron on Friday. Travolta, Soul of Spain. Jesus Christ, they're both flying. You'd think Travolta's got the heavy edge over Soul of Spain. Royal Supremacy. Down Diego. Piggyback. Geez, Travolta will be hard to beat in the old Newcastle Cup. Won't spend any time on that. Wait to see what the field is. The Cameron. Well, will Swift Falcon get a change of stable? Oh. Yeah, hang on. I've got to go looking for a horse. I've got to go looking for a horse to see if it's in. I'm going to sneak up on it. It won't be in the Cameron. It won't be in the... Oh, he's silly enough to nominate it for this horse, this race, but I don't think it'll be in there. Not. This is the race that it'll be in. Oof. Verona Rose. Just a lazy 33 noms for the Tibby Stakes. And they're taking 16 plus 5. And she's 21st in ballot order. Should get in. Dark Glitter is now a 99 rater. What is the world coming to? Cameron Handicap. Mikhail was enormous first up. He'd be very hard to beat. I thought the Cameron was 1400. 1500. Derby time. Fully lit. Jesus Christ. Magneteer back to thing. Magneteer coming out of a class 6 or something. Verge went ordinary first up. Grabini went ordinary. I don't know if J-Mac will be riding the Kale, but it'll be interesting. Oh, here it is. $7 for Ona Rose. No refunds are given, so you can't back it because you don't know if she'll get in the field, but be going close. So Rupert Clark. I thought they were going to run this horse, Angel Capital, in the... They didn't miss runner, yeah. They didn't... I thought they were going to run Angel Capital in the Manicato, which looks an absolutely perfect race for it. Why would they run it in this race? Yeah, back to the Valley, I would have thought the Manicato is an absolute ideal for Angel Capital. It'll run well here, but a little bit surprising. I guess there's not much depth to this race. There's nothing too scary there, is there? They've already penned another will. Underwood Stakes. I'm balls deep on Sedilius. The back Muckaroo now, that's interesting. Moira's interesting. She was very good behind Desert Lightning. I'm just banking on this Moira Desert Lightning form not being as good as that. Aniset was great first up. There's a lot of good horses in this race, but I think this horse is Fiorente 2.0. I really think he's super progressive. 1,800 metres, absolutely perfect for him second up. He's coming off that shorter break from the Brisbane Carnival into Sydney. He went just like a rocket first up. That run was insane against Lindemann, just basically working for 90% of the race, even though they didn't go super hard. They didn't go slow. And, you know, he had to slot in and then get out and just continue to the line. Buckaroo was enormous first up, but he's going to be back, and I think he's going to be more vulnerable here than Sir Delius will be. I'd love this horse to draw a gate because he's not the best out of the gates, but he can definitely hold a spot if he draws a spot. So, yeah, I'm really interested to see what happens here. 250 short though. Like, I'm not charging into 250. He was $7 last week. 7 stakes. Trailwolf, Gringotts. That's ridiculously short. Fangirl $3 is short. Private Eye $8 is short. There's got to be something here. Militarize is dangerous. Light Infantry Man I'd forgive completely off that run first up. It can jump, it can bounce. Militarize can do something. It went like a rocket the other day, Lindemann. There was no fluke in that. Fangirl, wait and see there, but I think they're both big prices. Won the Melbourne Cup at 5-2. Gee, it wasn't 5-2. It was 15-1 for most of the betting. It was only 5-2 late. Moira, huge go. It was TC not riding and following. He didn't have a choice, Josh. It was a decision from above, and it was before the first up run. Well, he was locked in to ride it before the first up run, Willow. So it was definitely nothing to do with anything that happened first up. It was a decision from above. Maybe stakes. What are we up to? Naturalism, shorts. This is going to be a great race. It depends who lines up. I don't know what the story was with Jolly Star last week, why they didn't accept, if it had anything to do with, you know, obviously wet track or whatever, but that was sort of decided 24 hours out. It wasn't going to be too bad. I think Private Harry's clearly the horse to beat. Definitely best suited at 1,100 metres. Great race. No, nothing in that price, nothing exciting there. And obviously a kick-off run for Private Harry, Briassa and Jolly Star all heading to the Everest. Generosity, it'd be interesting to see who rides it. And you would think the rest struggle at a Jetterby 1100 is about as far as it wants. Ostraker's good, but that's about his price. There's nothing too exciting there. How's Tiger Shark 50 to 1 off that run the other day? That seems a big price, but yeah, Private Harry definitely the most interesting horse there. Ugh, Half Yours. Wow. If Half Yours comes out and wins a naturalism after goddamn Strathtate went back to a camel race the other day and couldn't beat them, I'm going to throw up everywhere. Yeah, we won't even worry about the naturalism. Caulfield Guineas Prelude. State Cosmic's the one that got up the fence, wasn't it, the other day and got beat by the good horse. Fermoy's Just a Horse. Planet Red. Jesus Christ. I'll be amazed if anything that's in that Caulfield Guineas Prelude wins the Caulfield Guineas. Let's just put it that way. Vivid Sun, Cherish Me, LA Dancer. I'm just trying to see if these customers are all right the other day. LA Dancer's a big improver. Not much improvement in those horses. Cherish Me. Salty Pearl got the best run of all time for Vivia's 27 run into first prep. Nothing too exciting there. No, I said he was 15 to 1 for most of betting. I don't know he didn't start 7 to 1. Christ, I was in the... I challenge you to know anything more about Fiorente than me. I challenge you there. I've still got him on my golf bag. What, Bill Ritchie. So these are the same horses that are going to go to the Cameron sort of horse. I'd rather see this horse, Mikhail, if you knew it was going to the Bill Ritchie, the way it went first up, it'll go like a rocket here. It'll go like a rocket. I'd rather it over 14 than 1500, Mikhail, but it's also second up off a long run, off a hard run. Waller. Ugh. Geez, there's some races on Saturday. Oh, my God. Apocalyptic Within the Law. Jesus, next gen's only $10. Wow. These futures prices, my God. Artistic Venture 20 to 1 off a maiden win. All these sort of half the give runs, Kajenga, Next Gen, Karinska, they're all $8. They should be 20s. And then you could spec them. There's just nothing there. Kingston Town, Vauban. I think he'll go very, 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 very close to winning Vauban. I don't know what sort of, it's very hard. I struggle pricing these horses early, these races. It's just so important, the tactics and barrier draws in these big sort of races, these staying races. But I'd expect Vauban to go very, very close. Adelaide River's going better than what it appears, but I think probably 2,000 is a bit short for it. Rapahoe's had a few runs now. Birdman's not in the same class as Vauban. All three horses were bad in HK. Where's J? I assume J-Max in Sydney? Don't price them. Just back the horse you think wins. Holy shit. It's all about price. It's all about price. Anyway, that's it. An hour and 40 minutes of dribble. What do we got? We've got the 6,200 metre steeplechase at the Great New Zealand Steeplechase. 6,200 metres to get out on Sunday if we struggle. Is Strathtate in this race? 6,200 metres. Is that the longest race? How far is the... I don't think I've ever seen a race that long. Holy shit. All right, guys, cheers. Jesco as a tank, it better be. I'll see you Wednesday. So we got the hosted pot things Wednesday, Friday's Little Birdie, then I think Saturday's me. I'm not sure. It's either me or Little Birdie, then Sunday. So we got Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I've got streams Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Cheers, mate. Appreciate it. Cheers, guys. Yeah, I'll see you Wednesday afternoon. At least we'll get prices and fields by then. Thank you. Well done to Callum. Callum, message me, text me, whatever you are. I'll send you some money. Cheers, guys.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.